In the meantime, in between time, check us out on another platform because we got sports here, sports there, and all that whatnot. But on Wednesday, we just break it down a little bit and we talk about mental health. And we ask everyone to let's check in with the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast.
Feel free to join us. For more information, just check out our Wellness Check Wednesday page on Facebook. Click the link, and of course, let's check in.
Check in. See you on Wednesday.
Welcome to the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative Eddy Kool. The Sports Bros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. We talking sports. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I'm singing that song, and before I go into my long elaborate intro, let's give a big shout out to the money man Scottie D, who graduated Scottie cum laude from the Waynesburg University. He is the official recipient and holder of his degree in broadcast communication. And you know what that means? He cannot be denied. Please hire Scott Donnelly. If you need some footage on him and his work, holler at us right here at the Sports Bros Podcast. Send us an email and we'll help Scottie D get him a job, a J-O-B job. And with that being said, word of the day, J-O-B. And with that being said, welcome to another episode of your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros Podcast. I'm going to roll my sleeves down. I don't know what I was thinking, but I tell you what, I'm about as hype as that crowd over in France when they watched Backlash. Oh my God, what a crowd. I'm excited, so excited. To everybody listening and watching, thank you for your support. Continue to rate, review, subscribe. The podcast on all major platforms, the videos on YouTube, these shorts. Thank you to the viewers. Rate, review, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss nothing. And you can catch everything that is the Sports Bros Podcast. I'm Eddy Kool. I'm gonna shut up. Let's get into it. I got two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first, the almighty B-Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Man, Scott Donnelly, the world's oldest college student, graduated. You my boy, Blue?
Yes, sir.
He did.
It's over. It's all over.
I am so incredibly proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Like, so ecstatic. This weekend has been ridiculously busy for me, and especially yesterday. Si, senor, do not eat the worm.
Oh boy!
But man, I got DJ wedding, so congratulations to Chris and Lily Roop. Lovely, lovely couple. Had a great time. They tried to rain us out. We withstood the elements, got it done, and we partied the night away. And then Sunday, I went to a benefit for the Karen Chandler Trust. Tried to rain on us again. 5 local bands. It was an outstanding time. So, I was tired, and I got to go into work today because I got an email. So on my day off, I got to go into work. But yeah, there's no sleep for the weary. All right, go ahead and introduce that other guy that graduate that dude got some papers. And for any prospective employers out there, me and Scottie D are a package deal. So you get him, you get me too.
Me too. I'm not. You order my chopped liver, chop suey. Like, what the hell's going on here? What are we doing?
I'm just saying, I'm riding his coattail. I'm with him to the end. And that's just a joke because then y'all ain't gonna want to hire him.
I mean, hey, look, if it's gonna be Scott Donnelly and the Sports Bros.
No. We're not doing that.
Thank you for finally acknowledging.
Oh Lord.
Lord Jesus.
See what happened? People graduated and they started getting the big head, I ain't gonna lie, I got the big head. My head's big enough, so I don't need it.
That's why he couldn't fit into his cap.
Oh Lord. And with that being said, he is the other guy. He is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. You smell that? Smells like a fresh graduate. With that being said, it is the one, the only, Waynesburg's very own, the money man, Scottie D.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville. Oh, wait a minute. That's B-Live's song for the weekend. Da, 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 da. There we go. That's me right there. Yeah.
Scott, Donald, Lee. Yeah.
Yeah. It finally happened. I finally got through it. Finals week has come and gone. And now, as one of the professors said as we were marching up the line yesterday, enjoy unemployment. So here I am, back doing the Sports Bros podcast like we always do for free. But yeah, so I was a little busy last week studying for finals and doing a couple games and the big graduation weekend and work. So I didn't watch as intently as I would like to, but I did watch. There was something that bothered me the past week in the NBA playoffs, but we'll get into that in a second. So Eddy Kool, on your mark, get set, go. Let's roll some sports stuff out here for our listeners.
All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order.
All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order.
The NBA playoffs, hot and heavy. The first round over and done with. Let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes in it. Let's talk about the second round of the playoffs. B-Live, you did say this a while back, and a few of my coworkers have said it too. They said that the Timberwolves and Denver Nuggets, that should be the damn NBA Finals right there within itself. And with that being said, the Timberwolves defeat the Denver Nuggets 106-99 in Denver at home. And Anthony Edwards, he's a bad man. Anthony Edwards is a bad man. B-Live, something that you did allude to. What was the soundbite I think you said it last week where you alluded to the Nuggets big man. The Timberwolves big men neutralizing Jokic. And from what I saw during the highlights, because I was working, but I didn't have a chance to look. I saw that they put the press. Every time Joker got the ball and was bringing it up court, they put the pressure on him, and they made him move faster than what he wanted to. That's not his speed. That's not a style of ball. It kind of took him off his rhythm for a little bit. Jamal Murray, he struggled for a little bit, and it was an uphill climb. They managed to make it a close game, but Anthony Edwards, the sixth man of the year, is it Naz Reid?
I think his name is Naz Reid. If not, I'm sorry, listeners.
Naz Reid, he also had a great night as well too, and Mike Conley also chipped in. And from the looks of it, they have stolen home court advantage from the Denver Nuggets. It's early in the season, fellas. So not season, but early in this series. Do you think the Timberwolves can squeak out another one on the road?
Denver is too good to allow Minnesota to take two from them at home. It'll be 1-1. But granted, and that being said, Minnesota is, like I said, is going to give Denver problems. I don't have the stats in front of me. I said I DJ'd a wedding, so my computer switched to hold my studio equipment. But I predict, like I said before, Jokic can only guard one person, and on top of that, he's not the best defensive player to start with. So picking him up off the dribble, what Eddy Kool saying about from the highlights, that is disrupt their rhythm. They play at a certain pace. They run their offensive scheme through Jokic, That's why he's the triple-double machine. There's not much he can't do. But at the end of the day, like if you disrupt their rhythm just enough, you get to see what you just saw with Minnesota taking game one. I think I'm not gonna overreact, but I think if there was to be an upset, this is where it's gonna be at. I think Minnesota might be able to pull this off in 6 or 7. I think it's gonna go the distance. There's gonna be adjustments being made. Denver's too good of a team to just lay down. That's not gonna happen. This is gonna be a highly competitive matchup, and I assure you that I'm gonna be more um in tune with this series as it goes on. Like I said, a lot of festivities this weekend. So, yeah.
You know,
Scottie D.
you know how it is.
Scottie D was.
My bad. You know how this be like when the weather warms up and everything. Everybody want to do things all of a sudden. Everything, marriages, weddings, DJ gigs. Trust me, I get it. I get it. I really get it.
You know what? I just lied to you because not like I'm actually going to the beach next weekend, so I gotta fit in time. Then I got a graduation I'm going to fall. Yeah, I'm gonna be busy, but Sports Bros podcast goes on, and I'm going to be well informed, and I'm also going to have my computer with me in the next picking episodes.
Scottie D, what say you about this early series between the Wolves and the Nuggets?
I just want to see B Live run and dive on the beach again. I hope there's some footage coming out of that. That was some great footage we had the last time. Since you're going there, see if we can improve upon that performance last time. Okay, so
that's what you got out of this. Your mind immediately went to let's see how we're doing things. God. Whew. Sports he went to school for this. And it, like stay on topic, face the camera. He learned these things. Nope, just pick on Be Live and fat shame. That is what we're doing here at a Sports Bros podcast. You know what? Okay. All right, it's not like
I think there's a little tequila starting to come through your forehead up there. Anyway, so
here we go.
the first game. What Ant-Man, what did he have? 43 points, 44 points, something like that?
43 points.
43 points. Yeah, that's a heroic effort. He's a bad dude, no question about it. A lot of people are saying he's the best player in the NBA right now. I still think Joker had 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 for Denver in the first game, which seems like a normal performance. So going forward, I would expect to see a little bit more of that from the Joker. I'm not expecting any more 44-point nights from the Ant-Man. I mean, I think he'll play well, but that was.
Have you not watched Anthony Edwards at all? That's all he's been doing.
He's had 40 points. He's averaging 40 a game.
He's averaging probably like 35.
Okay, I'm just saying I'm not expecting him to go out and single-handedly beat the Nuggets. They won by 7 points on the road because he had a 43-point game. And Jamal Murray had no points in the first half and 17 in the second half. I don't expect that to happen again. Like I don't expect Edwards to. I think the series will stabilize and the Nuggets will come out on top. I'm not going to overreact because of the first game. And everyone's telling me Minnesota's going to beat these guys. I'm hearing that a lot. And maybe they will, but I need to see it before I buy in. Just like last year, I had to see the Nuggets go all the way before I completely bought in, and now I buy into the Nuggets. So I still think the Nuggets are going to win the series and win the NBA championship. I think I think that's the path that we're facing. Minnesota does look fantastic. I didn't watch them play all year. I watched a couple minutes of a couple playoff games, and I know that the Ant-Man's a bad dude. I'm just saying I've seen too much of the Joker and Murray and how they perform in postseason whenever the pressure gets tight, not in game one's tight, that I'm still rolling with the Nuggets.
Yep, this thing is going to go to 7. They play game 2 tonight, Tuesday night, and I'm going to be glued to the TV for that one. No, damn, I got to work. But anyways, I'm going to be glued to the TV somewhere. Hopefully, if I get the hell up out of work early enough, I can go somewhere, sit down and watch the game. I think that when it comes to this series, when we get into the nitty-gritty of the series, we're going to see where experience overrides the youth. As I stated before, experience is a hell of a teacher and something really great to have on your side because you also have other places as well too. They tasted that championship. They know what it takes to get there, and they want it again. They want it again. They know that, hey, we're the champions. We're the top dogs. They're going to come after us, and we just have to do our best to make sure that, hey, we got to keep these pretenders at bay and remain who we are as contenders. So I think this thing is going to go to 7 games. It's going to be a very interesting series. And I'm just hoping that the rest of the NBA playoffs can keep up with this game right here. Yesterday, in the game that we did not watch, Cleveland, they defeated Orlando in Game 7 to clinch the series, and they'll be 106-94, and they play Tuesday night versus the Boston Celtics. Oh boy, I think the Cavs are going to have their hands full with that one because the Celtics are just the damn Celtics.
Scottie D's favorite team.
Yeah, I like him in 5 though in this series.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I almost want to say a sweep because I'm calling Boston in 4. I just really I don't think that Cleveland matches up very well with them. And I mean, Cleveland is a very young team. Speaking of youth, by the way, versus experience, this is the first playoff without Steph, LeBron, AD, KD. The old guard is out.
wow.
The new guard is in. So I do like to see this a little bit of youth, but at the end of the day, like teams like a Boston that have been together for a while, and teams like Denver that have already proven they are the defending. It's going to make quite an interesting second round of the playoffs. Boston in 4 in this series.
Gotcha. And we got a rivalry, fellas. The rivalry is back on. The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knickerbockers. Will any punches be thrown? Will anybody get choked this year? Who's going to play the role of Reggie Miller as he makes the sign to Spike Lee for the Knicks to choke? This is going to be a real competitive series. I just think that it's going to be a tough one. This was kind of tough to call, but
I want to know. I want to know if the Knicks are going to travel all the way to Indy, and force the owner to buy up tickets so Knicks fans can't get into the game.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it. 76ers, boy, y'all went out bad. They did all this extra effort to keep the fans out there, and y'all still can't win the game. But I'm going to say New York in 6. Jalen Brunson is playing on a completely different level. I don't know what it is. Like I was watching Tyrese Halliburton. Like he's been hitting them. He's been getting you to triple doubles, but I just don't see him scoring as much. Like he's like averaging 15, 10, and 10, which is efficient. But I don't know. I'm going with Knicks in 6. The Knicks need this. They need love because the Knicks ain't done much ever, and you can tell that they're ridiculously excited about this year, and we all want to see it. We all want to see an Eastern Conference Final, the Celtics versus the Knicks. We want to see. That's gonna be the hype behind that, but they got to get past. So we're gonna see what the second round does for them. Knicks in 6.
Yep, Scottie D, what say you? Knicks, Celtics in the Eastern Conference. Well, you said the Celtics any damn way. I don't even know why I'm asking you again.
Yeah. Nothing. I got nothing to say about that. B-Live, you just said something struck a chord with me a minute ago. Philly went out bad. Can I tell you about something going out bad? How about this? 2-2 at home for the Clippers. 2-2 against Dallas at home for the Clippers. Playoff P shows up with a lousy 15 points. Harden got 7. Westbrook got 6. Kawhi wore the street clothes. That's what you get for the Clippers. That's what you get if you say I think the Clippers are going to be a threat this year. Remind yourself that the deeper the waters get, James Harden doesn't show up. He had 2 points in the second half of that game, both from the free throw line.
So
Kawhi doesn't want to play. Kawhi doesn't want to play basketball. He's hurt all. What's wrong with him this time? What's wrong? Anybody know what's wrong with Kawhi this time?
Achy breaking knees. Achy breaking knees.
So you just gonna switch the subject. We're talking like you just gonna roll into the Western Cup. We weren't even there yet, but that's cool.
Paul George calls himself playoff P, and he never steps up and carries a team. Those guys come by, and that was a game that Luka was terrible. He wasn't even playing well, and they were down by 20 in the middle of the third quarter. Those guys, I tell you what, it was a bad week for LA pro basketball in LA, because the Lakers got eliminated again, and LeBron doesn't even. He said that's okay. Basketball is not the most important thing. And playoff P laid another egg, and Harden gives you exactly what Harden does the deeper you get into the playoffs. Nothing. He gives you nothing. Harden's terrible in the playoffs. He's like Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs playing basketball. That's how terrible Harden is. He's terrible in basketball.
He's a bum.
He's a bum. Look at him.
Don't ever believe in the Clippers. Don't ever buy their stock. Don't ever believe in the Clippers. They're terrible. Those guys are terrible playoff performers. Terrible. I needed to say that. It's been on my mind for a couple of days.
Hey,
and then
they
went out in Game 6 and equally terrible again. They got knocked out of the building again in Game 6. They're gone.
Scottie D, I'm gonna ask you this question real quick. Should the Clippers just dump and rebuild? Should they just scrap it?
Unless they're happy. Are you happy winning just play? They're like the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are happy winning 10, 11 games and going home after 1 week of playoffs and watching with the rest. That's how the Clippers are. They're going to be good in the regular season, and Harden's going to do the thing where he shakes people off and steps back three and hits three. Woo, Harden, and Kawhi will come in and play 3 or 4 games, and scrap them all. Get rid of playoff P, Westbrook. Who else is on that team? Zubac. He's been over there. They've been squandering him for a year. Yes. I said a long time ago, I wouldn't touch James Harden with a 10-foot pole. I don't want no part of that guy on my team. I wouldn't want any part of James Harden. He barely plays defense. He just likes to show up and play a little street ball once in a while, and he's terrible. Terrible. Get rid of all of them. All of them. And they're foolish for signing Zeke. That was ridiculous too. Well, I guess I crossed over there. I crossed the streams. But anyway, yes, I would just keep starting over with the Clippers. They mean start over with them every 5 years anyway. They're no love for the Clippers. And yeah, maybe it will be JJ Redick coaching the Lakers. I don't know. They made a coaching change. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Somebody else.
It's all good. I'll Amtrak this. I can tell you've been wanting to get out your system for a hot minute.
Are you sure you can Amtrak that? Because that was a train wreck. He switched topics. He ran. I mean, he ran somebody's dog over with that track when he.
Oh no, Peter's gonna come and get us.
How did Zeke get into this conversation?
We'll be talking about him shortly in our next segment. But this is not looking good for the Clippers. I don't know. From a directional standpoint, I don't know which way they should go. I'll tell you this, though, they won't be sharing a building with the Lakers, I think, this upcoming season. And, you got to have stars inside that building. But those stars need to produce winning results, and those stars need to win championships, because we thought at the beginning of the year, like, damn, boy, maybe the Clippers could give the Nuggets a run for their money. And then here comes Minnesota, and then here comes OKC. And we look at the Clippers, okay, maybe the Clippers can give them a run for their money. Out of the teams I just mentioned, who's still in the playoffs? It ain't the Clippers, but OKC and the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. They're at home, Cancun on 3. Like you said, it's a real tumultuous time. If you're a Los Angeles basketball fan, be you a Laker or be you a Clipper. Darvin Ham's up out of there. I think I saw something where they said Jason Kidd, Tyronn Lue possibly, and JJ Redick. I don't think.
Jason Kidd just got an extension. He just got an extension. He's with the Mavs for a good minute.
Okay, so he hanging. So cross that out. I don't think that JJ Redick as a coach would be a good idea. Why? Because JJ Redick and LeBron James host a podcast. No. X this one, not a great
Here's
idea.
the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I don't want to say it because they're out of the playoffs and why are we talking about them? But the fact that LeBron James and JJ Redick have a podcast together, who else would actually want that coaching job in LA? If I was a seasoned coach, absolutely not. If I was a new up and coming coach, absolutely not. There's nothing good about that. JJ Redick would be perfect for that job because we know he'd be a puppet and then he'll slip right back into commentating like he should. And it'll be done with. That's a comedy act.
Van
And like I said, so what we're going to do is going to circle back and talk about the teams that won and that are in the playoffs still between OKC and the Dallas Mavericks. What y'all think about that though?
Is that who's in it? That's who Mavs are playing OKC.
Yes.
Did they have a first round bye?
Who Oklahoma City? It seems like it.
Yeah.
Sweep. Oh yeah.
Who they play? Who did they play?
They OKC played
The Pelicans.
Well, yes.
Oh yeah, they're at Galveston, Texas, on the beach now.
That was hilarious.
That's right.
Go
They
to
didn't even show
Galveston.
Charles Barkley is a national treasure.
He is.
And Shaq stay gaslighting him.
Yeah.
he just gassed them all the time. But yes, OKC, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the Dallas Mavericks with Kyrie Irving and Luka.
Oh, I know Kyrie. He's playing good.
Very good.
They are meshing. I'm very pleasantly surprised how Kyrie and Luka are meshing, and they could cause a problem.
What took this guy so long?
Who?
Kyrie.
Yeah, he was like out of his mind for like 5 years. Now he's focused on basketball and he's playing. He's like one of the best players in the league again.
I think when it comes to Kyrie, he had to make the main thing, and that's basketball.
But you know what? You know why Kyrie is thriving right now? Because the camera is not on him all the time in interviews and stuff like that. That he's just now he can just play basketball and a complimentary role, and they expected too much out of him in Boston. When he was at Cleveland, when LeBron left.
Oh, when you sign max deals, there's going to come some expectation.
But I'm just like, he didn't have the complement of players in Boston. I just think that Luka and they're meshing. I think it's a beautiful thing. So I don't have a prediction for this because
I think the Mavs win. I think the Mavs win.
You think the Mavs win?
Yes. I do.
I want to root for OKC because it feels like nobody's giving them their love. And it's like, they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. And everybody talks about how tough the Western Conference is. OKC is the best team in the Western Conference. And they get no love.
They are.
Zero love.
I think they lose. I think we get Dallas and Denver in the
Denver?
Western Conference line. Yep.
Okay. Not too
and
much.
that would be interesting.
Yep.
Jokic and Doncic, 2 guys whose names we have a hard time pronouncing going against each other.
Yeah, the Chiches. But I think it'd be interesting, man. Like it's that time of the of our generation, fellas, where we see a whole changing of the guard. All right.
I'm going OKC versus Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. Changing the guard. I'm changing of the guard. Going with the young.
That would be interesting. I would probably watch that. I'd probably watch that.
Yeah, we would actually give a damn, and we would watch. Like, not saying that we don't give a damn, but certain matchups draw interest. All right.
I watched the last couple minutes of the Rangers and Hurricanes on Sunday. That was interesting. I watched that one.
I was a word aggravated cussing. I'm surprised I ain't getting a damn complaint. It's just
the Rangers won that one.
Yeah. Scottie D, you went to school. All of this all these finals and everything, and during all these tests and everything, you did all of that just to clown and poke the bear and troll me the entire episode.
Well, I'm a Lakers
Like-
fan, right? That's been established. And as I'm sitting watching Jamal Murray hit game winner after game winner against Lakers, I'm getting his name in all caps sent to me from a certain panel that's not named Eddy Kool. So of course there's going to be some repercussions whenever you're all capping Jamal Murray at me over when he's beating Lakers at the buzzer in the playoffs. So Canes go down in game one. Rangers 1-0 in that series. Eddy Kool, what else we got? What else we have here?
Sensitive.
Before I get mad, let's go ahead and hop into something new here. We're gonna do 3 things. All right. It's gonna be the NFL edition. I'm gonna give you guys 3 topics, and real quick, you're gonna give me your answers, and it's NFL time. So let's get into it. All right, the Houston Texans, they added Stephon Diggs to the already loaded wide receiving core, joining Nico Collins and rookie sensation Tank Dell. Of the 3, who will lead the team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns? Once again, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. Scottie D, you first.
Nico Collins was there last year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like him. I'm going with him. I think he's already got the chemistry established with Stroud.
Okay.
I am definitely going Nico Collins. I'm going Nico Collins for yards and receptions. I'm gonna say Stephon Diggs leads the team in touchdowns, though. I think
I can see that.
But yeah, Nico Collins will be their leading receiver, but Stephon Diggs will have more touchdowns, tutties.
I like that pick.
Okay. All right. Scottie D, Scottie D, as you alluded, Zeke Elliott is back with the Cowboys, and we will not have to worry about his last play being him getting pancake blocked on his ass in the playoff games from a few years ago. All right. What as far as Zeke Elliott goes, being back with the Cowboys, how many carries, how many yards, and how many tutties will Zeke have?
Zeke will carry 119 times for between 357 and 359 yards, and he will have 6 touchdowns.
He said he's going to average 2.8 yards per carry. Yes.
Between 357 to 359 yards, somewhere in that general neighborhood.
I don't even have numbers because here's the thing. We will revisit this once the Cowboys release their depth chart, because I'm just curious, like who is there? Y'all still got what? Rico Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle's still there. Yeah, Rico Dowdle and
Malik Davis.
Yeah, Malik Davis. Yeah,
and some old guy named Freeman.
Royce Freeman. God.
Yeah, Royce Freeman.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see the depth chart, because it seems like there's no clear number 1 running back, because Zeke isn't anymore. He can't.
They passed on Dalvin Cook. They had a chance for Dalvin Cook. They went with Zeke instead.
Oh man. So yeah, that's what I got. I don't have no numbers for you, because I want to see a depth chart. Just because I want to see what decision they make. I want to see the wide receiver room and the running back room for the Dallas Cowboys, just so I can laugh. Scottie D, you need to get over some things. I did not know you took it that personally, that I said Jamal Murray, when he hit one of the greatest shots of all time. I'm sorry that I yelled Jamal Murray, not at a dig. That was not a dig at you. That was just a great shot. He took it personal.
Very insensitive of you. Very insensitive.
All right, moving along to our third and final topic, the offensive rookie of the year. Between the 3, who will win? Favorite, Carolina favorite and media favorite, Xavier Legette, Marvin Harrison Jr., or Caleb Williams?
When you give us those 3, it's tough, because I think they're a little bit fairer about the rookie of the year as opposed to MVP, because MVP is just always going to be a quarterback. I can tell you right now, I'm going to say this. I believe in Caleb Williams a little bit more, because he has like a youthful exuberance about him. Maybe because you see him at the Cubs games. He's really taking in the fact that, hey, Chicago is his home and he's embracing it. So I did like that. But no, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. The dude is already poised to take to take the league by storm. I think he does exactly what they expect him to do. Marvin Harrison Jr. Rookie of
Who's
the
he
year.
playing for?
The Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hey, y'all forget Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is not a bad quarterback. It was just bad circumstances.
Yeah, the whole Cliff Kingsbury situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely something. Scottie D, who you got?
Kyler Murray's like 4'9", trying to play quarterback in the NFL, so he's not that good.
Doug Flutie did it, Scottie D.
Did he make the Hall of Fame? No, he was on the bench most of his career.
Yeah, that he was. So who you got between Xavier Legette, Caleb Williams, and Marvin Harrison Jr., offensive rookie of the year?
Caleb Williams, that's the quarterback who went to Chicago. I don't like him. He paints his fingernails, so I'm going against him. The Legette guy, he's going to Carolina, right?
Yep.
They don't have a quarterback that I can remember. Well, Baker Mayfield's not there anymore, right?
Bryce Young is there.
Bryce, okay, so I'm going to cross him off. I guess by default, I'm going with the guy with the 4'9" quarterback. Going with Marvin Harrison.
Lord,
that's my pick. The guy with the dwarf quarterback.
Oh my God! All right, well that's been. Thank you guys
for
it's my expert analysis.
Both wide receivers have a dwarf quarterback. Like Bryce Young is shorter than Kyler Murray, just for the record.
Damn, he is.
Well, I didn't pick his receiver either.
You only had two choices when it came to receiver. They both are their quarterbacks are short, both of them.
Okay, all right, then I guess I picked the taller quarterback, the guy with the taller quarterback.
All right, with that being said, as I'm looking at my cell phone because I've yet to get a watch. Oh boy,
graduate thinking right there.
Lord have mercy. Guess what time it is?
Time for Scottie D to go back to school. That's what, because he clearly ain't learned nothing.
I'm glad you asked. It is time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. And with that being said, yo, button, hit it. The choices of the voices coming at you right here after this on the Sports Bros Podcast.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
ever so lovely
Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. You know how we do it. We ask y'all the question, y'all give us the answers, and we opine about it right here on the choices of the voices. With that being said, Scottie D, what's on tap for this week's choices of the voices?
Well, in light of my graduating with the announcer degree, I was in that mood, I guess I could say either, and asked what athlete that is active today of any sport could you see being a future announcer? And I was talking about either doing like color or play-by-play or studio host, and anything in that medium. And Eddy Kool, what did the people tell us?
All right, we have Brenda Johnson. She said Jock Peterson on the MLB Network.
Is Jock active?
I think he's still active. Yeah, I think he is.
Gotcha.
He hasn't been around that long, I don't believe. I mean, I don't know specifically what year he came into the league, but I'm pretty sure he's still playing.
So I don't know. Hey, Brenda has an affinity for our Atlanta Braves, so I definitely expected an answer of this nature from her. Jock Peterson with his pearls when we won it all in 2021. But yeah,
it is
I'm here for it. Absolutely.
I can't honestly say I can anything sticks out to me like interview wise or seeing him on Baseball Network. So he's playing for the Diamondbacks this year. So I'll have to take her word for that one. I can't.
Gotcha.
That's a bad answer.
All right, moving right along. We got Trey Dizzle. He said, "Good Lord, I cannot wait for Dak to be an announcer. Please, baby Jesus." And Tom Wynn said, "Hopefully soon." So we got one for Dakota Rain Prescott.
that was not him wanting to hear Dak Prescott on a sports show. That's for him wanting him to retire and not be a Cowboy quarterback anymore. That's what that was.
Anything to get him out of the huddle.
Anything. Yeah, to get him to a different huddle, a pre-production meeting. Here we go. All right. All right, Marcus James, he says Draymond Green is already set with the inside the NBA crew and fit in very well. I can see him sitting at the table with Ernie, Chuck, Jet, and Shaq. The other night they had Dirk Nowitzki in place of Shaq. So Draymond Green. Yeah, Draymond Green.
Dirk was on the panel?
Yeah, on Inside the NBA after the game. Yep, he was on there.
Oh, interesting. And while we're here, NBC, Comcast, Universal, whatever, don't do what you're about to do. Whatever you do with this $2.5 billion you're trying to get TV rights to NBA, as long as you keep Inside the NBA, that show together, whatever, however, I don't know how to do it, but just as long as you keep them, I'm cool. But don't, oh boy, because they're trying to buy the rights to the media rights from Warner Brothers, whoever, TNT, Paramount, whatever.
Was it Time Warner Discovery? Yeah,
them
that could be the end of that show as we know it, because I think those guys like that's in Atlanta that I think they do that show, and I think they like being down there. And I know Barkley's hinted before it wrapping it up here in another year or two. He's teased that for a while. So if they had to if they had to go somewhere else, like if it's not based in Atlanta, which all those Turner shows seem to be, I don't know that those guys would stay together and do that any longer.
That would be a very
I know I enjoy them more than I do the games.
Right. You know
I watch that sometimes after the games. I'll see the other games. I really put those guys on.
I mean, they won multiple Emmy Awards. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You know, I'm like, leave it enough alone. Don't touch nothing. Leave it alone.
Right. Always just trying to buy stuff and change stuff.
Yeah. Put it back and leave it alone. All right, moving right along. We got Heath Brady. Shout out to Heath Brady. He said, don't sleep on Sony Michel. He was in college for communication studies. Not sure if that's what his degree is in. It can probably get you on TV. And I've never heard Sony Michel speak. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I haven't either. That's I couldn't say if that's a good or bad choice, honestly, for that one either.
So obviously, I think Heath knows something that we don't.
But here's the thing: it's the choices of the voices, and that's what he wants. So we're gonna go with it. As long, like I said, don't come with nothing ridiculous, unless you're Trey Dizzle. Hey, we'll trust you, the voices.
All right, move right along. Friend to the show, JR. He says would rather listen to Draymond than Aaron Rodgers any day.
Ooh.
I think he's responding. Those are the guys whose pictures I put up. I put up Aaron Rodgers, Draymond Green, and as a joke, Shohei Ohtani, because he doesn't speak English. So I put those guys up. Yeah, I mean, I think I would also not really want to listen to Aaron Rodgers either.
I would like to listen to Aaron Rodgers when he on that stuff. That I want to listen to him on that ayahuasca or however it's pronounced, just because I want to know how. Maybe I want some. Woo-hoo, I don't
with
know.
the incense burning and the doors playing in the background. Right. See what he has to say.
In a closet somewhere.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to eventually. If you got an incense in the closet, you can have to eventually open up the door. You just might have to. Yeah, just got like 90 candles looking like a seance. Anyways, man, Aaron Rodgers, he's one of those dudes. All right, Brett Gambito. What's up, Brett? I think it's your first time, sir. Welcome. He said Brad Keselowski. So I not only said, reread the question. It says athlete.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the penalty box.
He's been in a couple of my classes at Waynesburg, a young man from Trinity who also seeking the Waynesburg announcing route like I did, only at a much younger age. And I constantly give him grief for being a NASCAR fan. So that's the genesis of that answer and response.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to put him in the penalty box because have you seen a fat NASCAR driver?
Never.
Tony Stewart.
Those dudes are actually athletes.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Just because
you can be thin. You can be thin and not be an athlete.
No. You have to. You definitely have to have the endurance to drive in a 130-degree car.
It doesn't make you an athlete. It makes you being able to tolerate something and gives you the ability to pee in a bottle.
Drivers are athletes, and what you're not going to do is because you're in the comfort of.
No, they're not. They're not athletes.
You're in the comfort of Pennsylvania. I'm actually still living in the South. What you're not going to do is have my listening base attack me for something you said because you believe they're not athletes. NASCAR drivers are athletes. I guarantee you they're in better shape than you.
See my next pepper point. Next.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway, I was gonna say something. I'm just get away from it. All right, so
all that education again.
Yeah, Waynesburg University.
Hey, you just graduated. Anyways, Haley Ryan, she says, I would expect it to say Mike Trout. No way he doesn't retire soon. He's hurt all the time, and it's a way for him to still stick with the game of baseball. Want 100% Freddie Peralta. Dude's super cool and chill and funny. Definitely would be entertaining. So she says Mike Trout and Freddie Peralta. Scottie D, she one of your classmates?
She is.
Okay.
I think she has one more semester at Waynesburg. She also is in the announcing program. Talented young lady. Yeah, Mike Trout. I think he could be a good, and maybe like sooner than later because he's always hurt. He might as well get to the booth. He's like the Kawhi Leonard of baseball.
Jesus Christ, is he ever? Minus the championship.
Is Scottie D building? Is Scottie D building a youth following over there? Is he actually is the youth of America, the younger crowd, is actually gravitating to this old man on the show?
The youth.
They could pick a worse person to follow around. I'll tell you that much, buddy.
All right, Brad Thomas says Phil Mickelson and Chipper Jones. He gives us one for the world of golf and one for the world of baseball. I think Larry Wayne.
Chipper Jones is having a great season too, by the way.
He is. I was about to say Chipper Jones is active. Man.
He's having a great season.
Larry
you know where you're going.
And B Live, he might not be alone because DX Ferris says Ricky Henderson.
I believe that this is a joke because the joke is that Ricky Henderson is never going to quit playing baseball. He's still probably playing baseball professionally somewhere. I think that was where this answer was headed.
Didn't he play overseas or something in his 50s or something like that?
He might still be playing.
Yeah,
he might. I want to do some digging. He might still be on an MLB roster somewhere. Ricky Henderson was one of those guys just kept playing and played for every team in the league, and then the minor league teams and then softball leagues, professional. I
got a question: is Bobby Bonilla considered still active because he's still getting paid?
Still on the payroll.
He getting two checks, one from the Orioles and one from the damn Mets. Ain't that something? The hell with Kirk Cousins' agent. I want Bobby Bonilla's agent. That's the agent I want. Yeah, damn that. Yeah, you see Kirk Cousins, you get your money right now in your face up front. But Bobby Bonilla's agent, long game, baby.
Yeah, we're creeping up on Bobby Bonilla Day here.
Long game. Yeah, it'll be July.
6 weeks away or so.
Yep, July the 1st. Damn lucky bastard. Anyways, shout out to everybody for their participation in this week's choices of the voices. Scottie D, who would you like to see active in the booth, on the desk? What say you?
There's a couple guys I think might be good. I think LeBron would be a good studio guy, like a pregame guy. I do. I'm not. He's not my favorite guy, but I think he would. You listen to him interviewed, and he knows the game of basketball and speaks very well. I think he would be decent. I think Russell Wilson might be a good. You ever listen to Russell Wilson talk? He might be a good guy in football. Bryce Harper gives good interviews. I think he'd be a good baseball analyst, and I've actually seen Justin Thomas do interviews on the golf course where like they mic the guy up and talk to him as he's walking from one hole to the next. I think he gives a lot of good insight on golf. I think Jordan Spieth does too, but Jordan Spieth to me comes off as almost like whiny bratish sometimes. So I don't know that he would be as likable, but I think those are a couple good ones. Those are some. You don't think LeBron would be good on TV?
That's just LeBron James is moody. That's the only thing about it.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be in that role, I don't think. I mean, you know, you're getting reporters, and to his credit, he gets asked a ton of dumb questions while he's just come up. When these athletes lose, man, you got to do better with the questions sometimes, you know, firing some stupid things off to him. So I could say, I remember when Kobe was playing, they were coming off of a loss, and somebody asked him like what his mood was like, and he said jovial with a complete deadpan straight face. I'm jovial. Like, how stupid a question are you going to ask this guy at this point? You know, so
yeah,
I can give some of these athletes the benefit of the doubt for being a little moody at time to time. But I think he might be a good like I could picture see him going on the set with Shaq and Barkley and fitting right in and having a good conversation with those guys like we've seen Chris Webber do and Vince Carter and these guys. I think he could fit in there.
It's either that or the Steeler resolve. What say you, Live?
Oh.
I'm gonna start off with you know what? I'm just gonna stay. I'm gonna go comical. I already mentioned Aaron Rodgers. I think like he has the knowledge for the game, and I watched Pat McAfee when Aaron Rodgers was on there. I once he retires, he'll be better because you can just see he's lackadaisical, and I sort of like that when it comes to sports. You don't have to be rigid and like I like what they do with Pat McAfee show. So Aaron Rodgers is up there, but I'm gonna tell you one thing: he's growing on me. He ain't even got into the league yet, and he's already growing on me. I would love for Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman is the clown, and it's like he's growing on me. He went to Florida State, and I can't stand Seminoles. No, my bad. That was on there. Yeah. Them, oh boy.
He called them garden. But go ahead, be live. Go ahead.
Keon Coleman is growing on me as just a media personality, just a personality in general, and that is really cool to see. And I could see that 20 years from now, of course, because he's got a whole career ahead of him in football. And I wish him the best. I would say Xavier Legette, but I need closed captioning. Cool.
We're not too far from that, be live. Come on now. Come on. I had to listen the other day and I was like, damn, I don't know who's more country than a mason jar, him or Randy Moss.
Randy Moss is country though.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realize Randy Moss was that damn country, but go ahead, be live.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm like Aaron Rodgers and Keon Coleman, those are a couple people that just stand out for me. I like their that's where I'm at. Yes, sir.
To any marketing execs that are listening to the Sports Bros podcast, I highly doubt it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the Xavier Legette, Keon Coleman podcast must happen as soon as possible. If you want some sponsors and some money behind it, get those two together. It's absolutely funny, absolutely hilarious. And that leaves me. You know what? I would say Draymond Green, because as a member of the media, I don't really consider myself a journalist. I consider myself a dude that got an education in journalism and mass communication from minor communication studies. I would just say that, you know, you have to be a people person, number one, and number two, you have to be articulate when it comes to interviewing. And I think Draymond Green is, you know, a people person, even though people want to beat knock his snot box off his nose, but yet still, he's articulate, and he does a great job of getting his point across in a very real and articulate way. I mean, the guy hosts a podcast, and Draymond Green is one of those guys I can listen to him, but okay, he knows what he's talking about, as opposed to, oh, he just played with a podcast with an extra grind. Because boy, you got some of these podcasts out here. Why are you guys on here even talking? Like, what are you doing? like what are you doing? But I would say Draymond Green. Really, I would say Draymond Green.
Yeah, he's not short on personality and
This,
and charisma. So he with him, you get an interesting listen.
Yep, that you do. All right, with that being said, Scottie D, what's on tap for next week's choices of them their voices?
All right, next week, I'm going to ask you to share with us about a bet that you made that you can remember. Very memorable bet, for better or worse. And it doesn't even have to be money. Maybe you bet someone a cupcake or Coke and you weren't expected to win and you did, or they didn't pay it. Whatever. Anything that has to do with a bet that you made at some point that stands out to you, whether you won a big sum of money or you lost and had to run naked through the streets, whatever it is, whatever bet, just a memorable bet that you've made in your lifetime. That'll give us something to talk about next week here, Eddy Kool.
You all right, B-Live? You good?
oh yeah, this. Let me put it to you this way. I didn't do it, but definitely there was a bet made, and one of my dudes at the bowling alley, he's a diehard Seahawks fan, and when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl quite some years ago, he definitely ran around the bowling parking lot naked, but naked.
Well, there you go. There's
he ain't
one.
he ain't the youngest person in the world. I'm just saying. It just wrinkles.
Gravity has set upon him.
Well, we could be set up for some interesting stories then for next week.
Yeah.
I saw it. I like, he is really. Of course, I did not look intently, but I'm over here like, you was in your 50s, and this was This was like that when the Seahawks won. So he's in his 60s now, but he was in his 50s running around the parking lot of the bowling alley naked. He did that. He honored his bet. Yes, sir.
Buki buck ball naked. Something you won't see here on the Sports Bros podcast. But coming up next, be live. Grab that pepper grinder. It's time for a round of pepper. Coming at you right here on the Sports Bros podcast.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Well, you heard a woman. It's time for us to go home and get the hell up out of here. But before we go, man, you know how we do it, man. It's time for a round of pepper. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really, here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain. The 4 E's in no particular order. With that being said, I'll go first. All right. On this day, back in 1915, future baseball Hall of Famer slugger Babe Ruth hits his first of many Major League Baseball home runs. And then he pitches 12 frames in the Boston Red Sox 4-3 extra inning loss to the New York Yankees. The Big Bambino was doing double duty, throwing fire and buzzing them out the park. Over to you, Scottie D.
All right, so I want to get a little bit of backstory here on what's going on, but evidently, weekly NASCAR, the organization NASCAR, the little club, they have something that a race every week where the guys race around in the circle, and they had one in Kansas this weekend. The little NASCAR club, they had a race in Kansas, and Kyle Larson, a guy named Kyle, won a very close race against a guy named Chris something. Anyway, so he beats Chris Bucher, but whatever. Anyway, Kyle beats Chris by 1,000th of a second. 1,000th of a second. That's not even like really beating him. That's like the same thing. NASCAR, give both guys the milk. Do better. Be live. Over to you.
Both guys the milk.
Let them both have the
Not
milk.
the milk. Go ahead, be live.
Oh man. We're gonna start off this first pepper point with my backstory of my own. Not really. To be the greatest of all time in a sport does not equate to being a owner of a franchise every now and again. We've picked on Michael Jordan with his not so much success with the Charlotte Hornets, and it's tough. But he isn't the only GOAT that's having trouble with the franchise and owning them and having any type of success. Birmingham used to be a championship league soccer club over in England. The Championship League is they would essentially be the AAA of the Premier League. Premier League soccer is around the professional league. Then you got Championship League. Then you got it's actually 7 layers in total. Well, when I say his soccer club Birmingham used to be in the Champions League, they got relegated this past week, and now they're on the 3rd level, and yeah, they're not doing so well under Tom's first year of being a club owner. Yeah. Sorry for the demotion. Do better. Eddy Kool. The ball.
Ain't that something you
soccer story? I like
ain't that something you lose and then you get demoted because you know what? Let's think about competitive balance and you get your ass over there. All right. So second paper point goes out is about Gable Steveson. Him along with several others this past week in the World Wrestling Entertainment, they got released. Now, according to Wrestling News UK, WWE had plans for him to be featured on Raw after WrestleMania 38, with Triple H pushing to wrestle Steveson at the show before having medical issues, and Steveson also underwent a heart procedure. Steveson had also been looking to return to amateur wrestling and potentially compete in the 2024 Olympics, but that was nixed. He worked a handful of live events at NXT and dark matches and SmackDown events, but his only TV match was a no contest with Baron Corbin at an NXT PLE last year. And Steveson hasn't had a match since February 9th on SmackDown. And the window is closed on him from his professional wrestling career standpoint with WWE. And I think he recently missed the window to compete for the Summer Olympics as well, too. I'll be honest with you. I was like, yay, Gable Steveson, but there'll never be another man like Kurt Angle who took to the sport like a fish, like a fish in water. I'm telling you, Kurt Angle picked it up quick and ran with it. So best of luck on your future endeavors to Gable Steveson. It ain't over yet. You're still young, so keep pushing, young man. Over to you, Scottie D.
Aaron Judge got tossed from the game the other day. First time ever he got ejected. I believe that happened on Saturday, and it was in the 7th inning, and he was actually walking away from the umpire, and I guess he said that last call was BS, and the umpire didn't like that and threw him out. Come on, Aaron Judge is a good guy. You got to give him a little bit of leeway. He gets more strikes called against him that are below the strike zone than anyone because he's like 9 feet tall. And if I paid to go see Aaron Judge, I don't want to see him getting thrown out of the game. So, not only that, I wanted to make sure that the Yankees got mentioned because I already talked about the Lakers and Cowboys in this episode. Be Live, over to you.
The trifecta.
It's a shame before the Lord how much you bring up those franchises.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to stick to baseball with my second PowerPoint because, I'm the second pepper point. Did I say PowerPoint?
Yep, that'll work too.
Make it powerful.
Well, I need another shot of tequila. All right. Well, deals are always being made all over the place, everything behind the scenes and moves and whatnots and what have you. Well, Luis Reyes is no longer a Miami Marlin. He has been traded to the San Diego Padres for 3 minor league prospects. Now that's somewhat of a pepper point because Luis Reyes, didn't he win the batting? Didn't he win the batting championship last year? Yeah.
Yeah, he's best hitter in baseball the last couple of years.
And
on his 3rd team in 4 years.
Yeah. But here's the thing. That's not really the pepper point. It's the fact that the 3 minor league prospects that got traded to the Marlins, they were in the middle of a game.
Wow.
One of the guys was on second base. The other 2 were in the bullpen, and they were like, "Well, grab your stuff. You no longer are with us. You're going to another franchise and another team." And I don't know what if they stayed in AA, got moved up or whatever. But yeah, middle of the game, guy was on second base, and they called him a pinch runner because he was no longer on the team. Eddy Kool. The ball.
When I saw that, I was like,
that's crazy.
I was like, oh, this is real time. This is real time.
Yeah. The San Antonio Mission's a AA team, by the way.
Yeah.
That were the 3 players that got traded. But yep. Yes, sir. The ball.
All right. So here we go, fellas. In the words of Scottie D, do better. The NBA, what are you doing? All right. So Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso made their debut this past weekend as teammates in Chicago Sky. Reese damn near flirted with a double-double, had 13 points and 9 rebounds in 24 minutes. Camila Cardoso had 6 points, 4 boards, and 2 blocks in 13 minutes, but left because she landed on the shoulder wrong. But that's not the story. The story is that this game was viewed on social media by a girl by the name of Hannah Love. Hey, it's Allie. Now, according to Yahoo Sports, the game streamed over the next 2 hours. Her stream peaked at 173,381 viewers. And has hit more than 400,000 views through the replay. It was grainier than professional broadcast and shot in vertical mode for an hour, but it was clearly better than nothing at all. By the way, the Lynx beat the Sky 92-81. Okay, WNBA, let's all right, I'll let you boy real quick. If you want to capitalize on the momentum that women's college basketball is doing, put the damn games on TV. At least put them on TV. Like, what the hell, man? This is some backwoods BS here. Like, you got two right. The WNBA right now has a lot of built-in stories right now. You have Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese, who were rivals turned teammates. Let's see how that's going to turn out. Caitlin Clark, she shook a girl out of her shoes the other night and looking like Iowa all over again. It's like, oh, she won't be able to do that. Well, I can't tell. WNBA, in the words of Scottie D, you have got to do better. You finally have some stars, multiple stars playing in your league. The last thing we want to do is watch this game via Twitter with a grainy 5G reception in a packed arena. This is not a good look for the WNBA. You have got to do better. This is appalling, and this is an insult to the girls that work so hard. In your 28th season, you're about to have a whole new set of eyes. Somebody, marketing department, logistics, you got to think, you got to get on it. Over to you, Scottie D.
Before Scottie D picks up on it, I'm just going to opine. When's the last time you watched an NBA preseason game?
NBA preseason game? Never.
All right, cool. There you go. It's preseason. It's not the regular season.
Yeah.
And it's the WNBA. And they've been probably out there, whoever it is, begging, please, can we negotiate a TV deal that's worth more than a ham sandwich and a nap? Please, can you put this on? Yeah. I'm like, why would I televise the WNBA preseason game? But that has changed. The market has changed. Because I think I saw that story, and I think that person is now up to 2 million views. So it's skyrocketing. They were like, all right, you know what? We need to put these preseason games on TV somehow, some way. Scottie D, my bad. I'm all in your space. Yes, sir.
Money just flying out the window. Go ahead, Scottie D.
All right, so it was announced last week that NFL Total Access was going to be canceled after 21 seasons, show on NFL Network. And guys, this is a show that I watched every so often. So I will miss, I guess, every so often getting to watch this show. In the meantime, could be an opening for the Sports Bros podcast on NFL Network. Be Live, take me home.
Yeah, I would
graduate me from this show.
Absolutely. My third and final pepper point, since Scottie D wants to bring up his Yankees and his Cowboys and his Lakers all the time.
And Panthers. I talked about the Panthers today.
And
the Hurricanes. I talked about the Hurricanes today.
Didn't need to do that either.
Brought up your teams.
I didn't ask you to.
I did.
But at the end of the day, all roads lead to Dabo.
Yeah, they do.
And then closing. No, go ahead, be like.
I swear to.
Go ahead. I'm joking. Go ahead.
you bet not. I don't know. You fellas know. You knew about Florida State suing the ACC, right? And they're battling trying to get out of the ACC. Clemson also joined that law. They filed a lawsuit. This was about a couple of months ago. But part of that lawsuit has come to fruition where the ACC is forced to reveal their deal with ESPN, and they have to reveal it to Clemson. It's a confidentiality agreement to where Clemson can't release it or anything like that, but Clemson's demanding to be like, hey, what exactly is this deal that you have and why we can't see it? And a judge, Superior Court judge said, no, we need roll that beautiful beam footage. We need to know what this deal is and where the money ain't right. And the fact that schools have to pay an exorbitant fee to get out of the conference, where the landscape has clearly changed, and that this contract runs until 2036, where all the other conferences are evolving with new deals, more money. We're still sitting at this lame duck deal that ain't making the ACC any money, and the competitive balance of the ACC is going to falter as the Big Ten and the SEC continues to grow. Dabo ain't having it. Clemson ain't having it.
Yeah.
ACC, we need to know what's going on, and we get out. We go.
Yeah.
We need to change this deal up. Something's got to give. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So to put a cap on this Pepper point, don't get too comfortable at your job because you could be removed at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Make your first home runs memorable, and whatever you do, please don't let money fly out the window. In the words of the almighty Be Live circa 2004, pay attention, WNBA. Think about it. That's 3 million viewers, marketing, just money going out the window. If you don't give a damn, we don't give a. And then in closing, do something nice for yourself, and if you can, do something nice for someone else. They'll greatly appreciate it. Now, more than ever, it's been another episode of your favorite sports podcast, the Sports Bros Podcast. Thank you for watching, listening. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. Click that link in the description box and check out everything there is, the Sports Bros Podcast. Be Live, get us up out of here and take us home.
I just realized something.
What?
I'm the only person on this program that's not college educated. I might need to go back to school and get a paper myself.
I kind of had that epiphany yesterday, but I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing.
It's okay though. I'm the color commentator. I don't need no degree. I'm just gonna be me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And Be Live, you do that so well. So yes, you do that so well. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. See you next week. And oh yeah, happy Mother's Day, Mama. I miss you and I love you. And if you're cool with your mama, holler at her. Well, don't yell at her, but take her out, take her to a nice dinner. Tell her that you love her. Your grandma's same too. Happy Mother's Day. Y'all take care. Love you. Bye. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast.
Love you, Mom.
Scott, you ain't wish your mama happy Mother's Day?
He ran off.
Love you, Mom.
There you go. So gonna kick your ass if you didn't. Bye. See y'all next week.
Hey, it's Eddy Kool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. Thank you for listening, and as always, continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Just click the link in the description box and keep up with the Sports Bros Podcast. And once again, thanks for listening.